Hi there and welcome to today's video. And with today's video I've got a question here from Anne. And Anne is asking the following. I'm probably the only person in the world that could go vegan and gain 10 pounds. I'm sad. Now Anne, going vegan is not a guarantee of weight loss. For instance, you can go vegan and you can eat nothing but deep fried chips and crisps and take your deep fried chips and cover them with salt, even if it's pink Himalayan rock salt. Cover them with salt and drink nothing but cola. Drink nothing but soda and you'll be vegan. Will it be the best diet for your body? No, it won't be. And also, even in amongst the processed food selection that you can find within the supermarket, there are tons and tons of processed vegan products that are just as much junk food as what the non-vegan junk food options are. When you're dealing with your processed foodstuffs, you getting in the sugars and the carbohydrates and all of those things that will be more prevalent within the vegan products, together with high loads of sodium, high loads of fat, and that is effectively where the problem is. I remember years ago chatting to a top international triathlete that follows essentially a plant-based type of diet. And his situation was as follows. If what you've got on your plate has been pulled from the ground, picked from a bush, picked from a tree, the chances are 9 out of 10 that whatever it is that's there on your plate will be good for you. If what you've got there on your plate comes from a factory, the chances are that what's there on your plate will not be good for you. It's really, it's that simple. But now just to bring things back, you haven't listed in your question what it is exactly that you're eating at the moment. But gut feel, pardon the pun, gut feel will be telling me the following, that either what you're eating is loaded in fats or it is loaded in sodium. And both of these will tend to make you heavier. The fat will tend to be able to gather on your body as additional fat, because when you're taking in fat combined with carbohydrates, your body absorbs the carbohydrates really quickly for its energy that it needs to be able to continue now on a minute-to-minute, day-to-day basis. Keep your brain firing optimally. Carbohydrates, your sugars, your carbohydrates, your fruit sugars, your fructose, does all of that for you. But when you have fat within the mix as well, what your body will do is say, well, I'm going to use all these sugars, all these carbohydrates right now, and all of this fat I'll store away to be used later when I need it. And stored away later for when your body might be needed. How will that be stored? Well, that will be stored as fat. So your intake of fat will tend to be stored as fat. And what Dr. Neil Barnard, in his book about prevent and reverse heart disease and his preventing and reversing type 2 diabetes programs are all looking at, especially on the diabetes front, is that it's the fat that's within the diet system that is almost like putting chewing gum in the locks of your muscles, and it doesn't allow the keys of insulin to unlock those muscles and let the blood sugar get from your bloodstream into those muscles to be burnt off. And when you're burning off the blood sugar, the blood glycogen through your muscles, it means that there's more space within your bloodstream to be able to absorb more of those carbohydrates and sugars from the foods that you're eating. And any excess foods, any excess sugars, Any excess carbohydrates will be burnt off within your body through a process called dietary thermogenesis. Google it, look it up. That's what happens to the excess sugars. That's what happens to the excess carbohydrates. However, the excess fats that you take into your system get stored as fat for your body to be using later, should it need to do so. Now getting back onto the subject of sodium. Sodium will make you heavier. It won't make you fat, it'll just make you heavier. And it will make you think you're fat, because in the process of making you heavier, it'll cause your body to swell out and look bigger, and therefore you'll look in the mirror, you'll look bigger, you'll get on the scale, you'll see heavier, and you'll make the assumption that it's fat. Because what happens is, even your Himalayan rock salt, every single, and should I say even your cute pink Himalayan rock salt, every single gram of fat, every single gram of sodium that you take into your body, that gram of sodium absorbs and stores within it 10 grams of water. So let's convert it out to American for you. Every ounce of salt, every ounce of sodium that you take into your body, that ounce of sodium is going to store 10 ounces of water. So now once you've got all of the sodium into your system, how do you get rid of the sodium? Well, the easiest way to get rid of the sodium is to become physically active, and through being physically active, you'll be sweating, and you'll be sweating out the excess sodium. Now what happens when you sweat out the excess sodium? Well, you sweat out the excess sodium, and for every ounce of sodium you sweat out of your system, that releases 10 ounces of water into your system. And those 10 ounces of water you'll either be losing as part of the sweating process, or you'll suddenly develop the need to pee a whole lot more because of all these 10-ounce blasts of water that are being released back into your system. Also, very importantly from the sodium point of view, is obviously your body needs electrolytes to be able to function optimally, but it doesn't necessarily need sodium electrolytes. You can be doing just as well with potassium electrolytes, and the easiest way to get potassium electrolytes is from eating bananas, eating a whole lot of bananas. For me, a breakfast meal can be 10 bananas into the blender as a smoothie, and that can be breakfast. 10 bananas is not nearly enough to be able to cause you any liver damage from too much potassium. And what's more, when you take excess potassium into your body, you pee it all out again. So the excess potassium that your body doesn't use gets flushed through the liver, and you pee it all out. It's not like sodium that gets stored inside the body and absorbs water as water weight that makes you look heavy on the scale. So that's my take on the matter. Eat real food, high carbohydrate, low fat, and cut your sodium intake to effectively zero. You do not need the salt shaker over anything. You do not need the cute pink Himalayan salt over anything. All that extra sodium is going to be doing for you is going to be causing your body to store extra ounces of water, and when you've got that extra ounces of water, that extra water weight that you've stored up into your system, it's going to make your body look bigger. You're not fatter, you're just carrying more water. So high carb, low fat, low sodium, and you'll be seeing the pounds dropping off. Also, very importantly, if you've been yo-yo dieting in the past and you're going high carb, low fat, low sodium, you may see a little bit of weight gain over the course of the first couple of days, the first couple of weeks, as your body is trying to heal itself from the metabolic damage that you've done to yourself over the past yo-yo dieting. Effectively, for every 3 years of yo-yo dieting that you've done, it'll take approximately a year's worth of time to heal that metabolic damage. So your healing time is about a third of your previous damage time. So 3 years of yo-yo dieting will take about a year for you to heal completely. So we may not be dropping off all the weight that you maybe want to see on the scale by the time we get to next summer, but going this route, high carb, low fat, low sodium, will be healing your body and allowing you to, all the weight that you drop off, you'll be able to keep that weight off long term, all the way through for the rest of your life, and stay healthy in your optimum health. That's my take on the matter. Feel free, everybody, to post your comments and questions down below. If you like this type of video content, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like this type of video content, give it a thumbs down. That way I know what type of content to be posting out in the future. And share this out amongst your friends. And last but by no means least, down just below the bottom left hand corner of the screen, you'll see a big red subscribe button. That way you'll stay subscribed to my channel for all of the new videos as I post them on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis. Stay carved up for the win. I'll see you next time. Cheers.